All right, section 8.4. Let's move on to my favorite shape of all time, which is triangles. There are so many cool things about triangles. We'll cover them in this section. We'll also cover them in the trigonometry section at the end of the course. Okay, so what's a triangle? Well, it's any three-sided figure. In any triangle, all three sides will always add up to 180 degrees. And if you're coming to class, I will have you draw triangles. Draw triangles, take out a protractor, check the angles, convince yourself that this is true. No matter what kind of triangle you draw, all those angles will add up to 180 degrees. So if you're given a question like this one in A, we've got one angle in a triangle that's 53 degrees and another that's 68. We want to measure the third angle. Well, the two angles together add up to what? 53 plus 68 gives us, I feel like I should be able to do that in my head. And yeah, I'm going to grab a calculator. I'll just use my trusty key. 121 degrees. Okay, well, if those two angles add up to 121 degrees, then the other angle is going to be 180 minus that. And so you'll get 59 degrees. Or if you want to think about it this way, you can think of it as you started with 180 degrees, and then your one angle took up 53 of those degrees, your other angle took up 68 of those degrees, and so that has left you with 59 degrees. All right. So there's many ways we can classify triangles, and this is important because some of them have really cool properties. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about these ones, right triangles. So if we classify them by angles, a kind of very special triangle is one that has one angle that's 90 degrees. And we kind of denote that by showing this little square in the corner here. So this is 90 degrees. Okay, it's like a perfect corner. So that would be a right triangle. An acute triangle is going to be a little cute one where all of the angles are less than 90 degrees. So something like this. Okay, an obtuse triangle is one that has an obtuse angle. So remember, obtuse angle means greater than 90 degrees. So that's going to have a really fat angle like this. Okay. Let's stop there. Let's take a look down below. We're going to, using angles, let's label each triangle then. Well, that first triangle then, there's no right angles, and there's no angles that are greater than 90 degrees. So this is an acute triangle. Those symbols, just so you know what they mean, those symbols, when you see something like this, that's showing the arc, that's indicating the angle. And over here is indicating the angle. And if they have matching lines, in this case, they have one line going through them, that means those two angles are equal. Okay, we could also sometimes, like, maybe if this angle was given one, then you might see two. So now that's showing like the matching ones, the twos are equal. And when you see the lines on the sides, like you do there, here I'll draw it in green, that means that those side lengths are equal. So just something to keep in mind. We don't need to know that necessarily to classify that triangle right now, but it's good to know. Okay, next one. Well, if we're thinking about classifying it by angles, we could say this is an acute triangle again. Because all of those angles are less than 90. In fact, all of those angles are equal, so they're all 60 degrees. They're all less than 90. Okay, this next one, I meant to draw a right angle on here, so let's draw that on. And so that kind of gives it away. This is a right triangle. It has one 90-degree angle. And the last one here will be an obtuse triangle because this angle right here is greater than 90 degrees. It's greater, it's bigger than a perfect corner. Okay, so that's if you're classifying them by angles. You can also classify triangles by side lengths. So we have isosceles triangle. That's a triangle where you have two angles and two sides that have the same measure. Okay, that looks like that first one we saw there. Equilateral triangle has all sides are equal, which means all three angles are equal as well. And a scalene triangle means all three are different. All three angles are different, all three side lengths are different. So if we're using these same triangles, but now classifying them according to side length, this first one we would call isosceles. Extra points if you can spell that one, it's a hard one. Next one here, so again, remember these notations mean that all three of these angles are equal and all three of these side lengths are equal. So this is an equilateral. Okay, this third one, in terms of angles, it's a right triangle. In terms of side lengths, well, all three are different. So this would be a scalene. And the fourth one here, well, these two side lengths look similar, but we don't have any markings to tell us that they are. So I would call this scalene. They're probably just slightly different lengths.